I'm Jon Larson, Technical Trainer for Epiroc USA Surface and Exploration Drilling. Today we're going to be talking about the components on a SmartROC T40 drill rig. Here we are on the cabin side of the machine. As we open up the door, we find a lot of things inside. We'll start off here with our E-stop, a hydraulic drain. We have a light there for vision for nighttime drilling and positioning. Here we have our I/O modules for controlling and monitoring various systems on the machine. We have our RRC unit, which is a remote rig access. Our MTU, or commonly known as SmartROC, for monitoring and reporting back to the mine operator. This machine is an HNS prepped machine, so it includes all the cabling for the antennas on GPS equipment. Right here we have our remote cable for the remote control, as this is a remote controlled unit as well as the controls inside the cabin. Here we have our air filter for the compressor, our DEF tank, our compressor oil filter, our fuel water separator, fuel filter is located right behind it, our compressor regulator for air pressure for flushing air, the inlet valve, and the air pressure regulator that's adjustable in the cabin. Our exhaust and our Caterpillar engine that's behind there, which we can see when we get to the back as well. Here at the rear of the machine, we have our water mist tank with a Dynaset pump for the water injection for the water mist system, our separator tank for the compressor system, the sight gauge and fill. Here we have our trouble light, which mounts up on top and plugs in right here, our master switch, our batteries with fuse set on top. Here we have our flushing valve for the flushing air and the drill string. Again, the Caterpillar engine, the exhaust system up on top. Here's our engine preheater, rock drill oil or ECL oil, auxiliary flushing air, our air pressure regulator for our dust collector system for purging and cleaning the dust collector filters. Down here we have our winch, the cable, becket, the hook, oil fill and oil level. Over here we have our winch clutch free spooling switch, our dust collector, the fan, some rear facing lights, the strobe light for tramming, and our backup alarm. Here we are on the non-cabin side of the machine towards the rear. We have a plug here for our ECL collection and return, a light for visibility at nighttime, engine oil drain, compressor oil drain, and a hydraulic oil drain. Moving upward, we have our ECL return collection reservoir, pumps 1 and 2, our air cleaner assembly for the engine, our hydraulic oil suction hose, dust collector hose. We have our test ports for pumps 1 and 2 so that we can calibrate and pressure the pumps correctly. We also have our cooler back here with a fan that's controlled by a hydraulic motor. Here we have our hydraulic tank with the sight glasses, the push button for the electric oil fill of the hydraulic tank, and our E-stop on the non-cabin side of the machine. Moving forward, we have the front side of the hydraulic oil tank with 2 more sight glasses, the return manifold for the hydraulic oil, our tramming valve block, and our rotation valve block. Still on the non-cab side of the machine, we have our labeling for our drain ports. This one here is hydraulic oil, this one here is engine coolant. We have our torque hubs with the drive motors affixed to the back, our location for hoisting the machine, and we also have our port for tensioning the tracks via grease fitting. Here we have our auxiliary air output, our central lubrication system with the reservoir, our feed main boom turning cylinder, and our track oscillation cylinder. Here at the front of the cabin, we have our washer fluid reservoir, our thread greasing reservoir with the pump, our sensors for calibrating where the boom is for the HNS controls, front glass, side glass, both equipped with windshield wipers, and the lights on the front of the cabin. Here we have the boom laid down for a visual. Right here is our length sensor for the feed to measure our depth for drilling. Another length sensor for the entire feed assembly so we know where we're at with the whole navigation system, and a light for the drifter when we're changing rods. Here with the boom laid down, we have our upper and lower hose reel, which supplies hydraulic oil, air, and rock drill oil to the drifter. Underneath the hoses, we have our SC25 drifter. This is the top of the carousel, the rotation motor for adding or removing rods. Moving down the feed, we have our stars for our carousel assembly, which holds the drill steel in place, bulkhead for our hydraulic hoses, our upper rod transfer arms. This strobe light is for when we're in automatic drilling mode. It should flash when you're in automatic mode, signaling to the rest of the mine site that the machine can start and stop all on its own with no human interaction. Here we have what's called a doghouse. Valve block assemblies and I/O modules underneath here control everything that's on the feed. Rod handling system being the arms, the control arms, the carousel, centralizers, dust pot, anything that's controlled out on the feed comes through the valve blocks and hydraulics inside of here. If you need further assistance with this, please contact your local Epiroc service center or the dealer in your area.